Hi, and welcome to Cooking from Scratch. Today we're going to be making Lebkuchen. While Lebkuchen cookies are frequently associated with origins in the late 13th century by German monks, its roots extend much deeper in history, dating back to ancient Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans. While modern recipes tend to use molasses as the primary sweetener, its inventors in the ancient Mediterranean region used honey and wore these pastries to protect them from evil spirits. Perhaps this cookie is aptly named, as one etymological interpretation means body cake. Alright, so to begin these cookies, we're going to take a cup of dark brown sugar, a half a cup of vegetable shortening, and a half a cup of molasses. We're going to cream these together until they're nice and homogeneous and fluffy. And we're also going to add a cup of cream, preferably heavy cream if you can find it. And we're going to stir in our cream until our mixture is nice and homogeneous and well combined. We're also going to add a tablespoon of vinegar. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add our spices. It's a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of ground clove, a teaspoon of allspice, and a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. I'm also going to add a half teaspoon of kosher salt, and I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda as well. We're also going to add 2 tablespoons of orange zest and 2 tablespoons of lemon zest. And then we're going to add 4 cups of flour and a half a cup of almond flour. I'm using my own almond flour. I just took about half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of whole almonds and ground them in a food processor until they were nice and finely ground. Alright, so we're just going to mix this cookie dough until it's nice and combined. It should be a little bit sticky in the bowl, but it shouldn't really stick to your fingers. It should generally leave your fingers pretty clean. And you'll notice that I've been doing all the mixing by hand. I find that it makes a bit of a tender cookie. Okay, so I'm going to take a 1/4 cup measuring cup, and I'm going to spray it with some cooking oil so the cookie dough doesn't stick too much in our measuring cup. And I'm going to take 1/4 cup portions and roll them into a ball. And then these cookies are going to spread out a little bit, so I'm going to give about 2 to 3 inches between each cookie, maybe up to 4 inches if I have a really big baking pan like I have here. So I'm going to press down on each ball just until it makes a disc. It should be about a 1/2 inch thick at this point. You don't want to press it down too much because they'll continue to spread as they bake in the oven. And then I'm going to take 5 blanched almonds and arrange them in a star pattern on each cookie. If you can't find blanched almonds in the grocery store, you can find the whole almonds that are raw with the skins, and you can toss them in a pot of boiling water for about 30 to 60 seconds, and then immediately drain them in some nice cool ice water, and then the skins will peel right off. Okay, so we're going to bake these at 325 degrees for about 15 minutes. And we're also going to leave, when the cookies come out of the oven, we're going to leave these on the pan for 10 minutes. It's really important because the cookies are pretty soft, almost like a gingerbread cookie, and they'll need some time to continue that carryover cooking process on the pan. Okay, so once our Lebkuchen are nice and cool, we're going to frost them. So to frost them, we need about 3 to 4 cups of powdered sugar and then 5 to 8 tablespoons of whole milk. I start with a few tablespoons and keep adding a little bit more over time until it gets to the right consistency. Looking for a fairly thick frosting, but not as thick as like a royal icing that it's going to leave peaks, but it should not be super runny. It should be a little thicker than like a traditional glue. And then you're going to take about a teaspoon to a tablespoon of the frosting and just spread that right on top of your cookie, and it will kind of even out as it sits through the force of gravity. And you can put these directly back on a baking sheet and let them dry for a couple hours, or you can put them on a cookie rack and let them dry, and some of that extra frosting will drip down too. And there you have it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe.